Construction sites can be crazy, let's face it. Everything's going smoothly 1 minute, and then a multi-ton machine is sliding down a hill, tipping over, or sinking. These failures are not only startling, but also costly, risky, and occasionally fatal. The top 5 most frequent construction equipment failures are covered in this video, along with more crucial advice on how to prevent them. Everyone should be aware of these lessons, regardless of whether they work in a job that involves large machinery or not. So, buckle up, pay attention, and let's learn from the mistakes that made headlines so that you don't make the same ones. Let's get into it. 1. The overloaded crane collapse. Imagine a towering crane designed to lift heavy loads suddenly giving way and crashing down. Such incidents aren't just hypothetical. They've occurred in real life with devastating consequences. In March 2023, a tragic incident unfolded in Aubrey, Texas, where a 23-year-old construction worker lost his life due to a crane collapse. Investigations revealed that the crane was operated beyond its weight limits, leading to the fatal accident. Similarly, in 1999, the Big Blue crane collapse in Milwaukee, Wisconsin resulted in the deaths of 3 workers. The crane was lifting a load in wind conditions that exceeded its operational limits, leading to the catastrophic failure. How to avoid it? Know the limits. Always be aware of the crane's maximum load capacity. Overloading can compromise the crane's stability and structural integrity. Use load monitoring systems. Implementing systems like Load Moment Indicators (LMI) can help monitor the weight being lifted and alert operators if limits are being approached. Regular training. Ensure that crane operators receive ongoing training to stay updated on safety protocols and operational guidelines. Pre-operation checks. Conduct thorough inspections before each operation to ensure all components are in good working condition. Remember, safety is paramount. Adhering to operational guidelines and being vigilant can prevent such tragic incidents. 2. Excavator sinks into soft ground. The day begins as any other workday would. When the excavator's ready to dig, it rolls into position. After a few minutes, though, something feels strange. The machine becomes slack. It moves the ground. Before you realize it, the excavator is squelching into the ground like quicksand. What was meant to be a straightforward excavation ended up becoming a costly rescue effort. Unbelievably frequently, this kind of failure occurs on building sites close to rivers, marshlands, or places with loose soil. The assumption that the ground is sufficiently firm simply because it appears dry is a common error made by operators. But underneath, especially after rain, it may be soft, wet, or unstable. Excavators weigh a lot of weight. Even the smallest ones can weigh a few tons. That's a lot of pressure for soft soil to handle. In 2021, a real-life instance occurred in the UK. While working on a riverbank, a big excavator fell directly into a canal. Fortunately, no one was harmed, but removing it required a barge, a crane, and an entire crew. Damage and delay from that error totaled thousands of pounds. So how do you avoid this? Simple, check the ground before moving any heavy machine into place. If it's soft, use steel mats or wooden planks to spread the weight. Never assume the ground is safe just because it's dry on the surface. And if you're near water, always maintain a safe distance and be extra cautious. It might take a few extra minutes to inspect and prepare the ground, but it's a lot better than spending days digging your machine out of a hole, literally. 3. Tipping scissor lifts. At first glance, scissor lifts seem harmless. They've got wide, sturdy wheels, a solid base, and they go straight up. No swinging arms, no spinning tracks, nothing wild. But don't be fooled by that calm appearance. These machines can be surprisingly dangerous when used the wrong way. And one of the scariest and most common failures? A complete tip over, sending the person at the top crashing down from multiple stories high. So how does something that looks so stable become a death trap? It usually boils down to 3 things: bad positioning, bad judgment, or just plain neglect. One of the biggest mistakes? Moving the lift while it's fully extended. Even a small bump or shift in weight can throw off the balance. Then there's the surface. Maybe the lift is parked on uneven ground or near a slope. And let's not forget about wind. Gusts may not seem dangerous from the ground, but 30 feet up, that wind feels like a force of nature. One of the most heartbreaking cases happened in 2010 at the University of Notre Dame. A 20-year-old student working was filming a football practice from the top of a scissor lift. Winds were reaching over 50 miles per hour. Despite safety concerns and warnings, the lift went up. It was unstable, it tipped, he fell, and sadly, he didn't survive. A life lost, not because the machine failed, but because the rules weren't followed. So, how do you avoid this kind of tragedy? First, never move a scissor lift while it's raised. It's simply not designed for that kind of motion. Always inspect the surface. If it's soft, sloped, or uneven, don't risk it. And when it comes to weather, especially wind, be cautious. If gusts are stronger than 28 miles per hour, it's not safe to operate at height. Finally, always wear a safety harness, even if you're just going up for a minute. That small piece of equipment could be the only thing keeping you from hitting the ground. Scissor lifts are amazing tools when used right. But the moment we take shortcuts or get too comfortable, they become dangerous. Respect the machine, follow the rules, and you'll stay safe. 4. Bulldozer on a slope gone wrong. On a construction site, bulldozers are like the tanks of the operation. They're strong, steady, and built to push through anything, from piles of dirt to broken concrete. But don't let that raw power fool you. Even these heavy-duty machines have their weak points. One of the most common dangers they face is working on slopes. Picture this. A bulldozer's pushing dirt up a steep incline. Everything seems fine at first. Then the operator decides to turn around, maybe just a slight angle, nothing too dramatic. Suddenly, the tracks lose traction. The ground beneath shifts. Before anyone can react, the massive machine starts to slide. Sometimes it skids, other times it rolls, and in the worst cases, it can tumble violently down the hill. This isn't just theory, it happens more than most people realize. Take the real-life case from Tennessee in 2018. An operator was clearing land on a slope when his bulldozer lost control. The dozer rolled multiple times down the hill. It was a terrifying accident, but somehow the operator survived. Why? Because he followed the 2 golden rules. He wore his seatbelt and the cab was properly enclosed and reinforced. Without these precautions, he might not have made it. So what really causes these slopes to fail? It's usually a combination of overconfidence, poor terrain evaluation, and sometimes just plain bad luck. Many operators assume their dozer can handle any angle. It's built for this, they think. But every slope has a tipping point, especially when the ground is wet, loose, or uneven. And once gravity takes over, there's not much you can do to stop a 20-ton machine from sliding. How can you prevent this? Start with knowing your machine's limits. Every bulldozer model comes with manufacturer guidelines for maximum slope angles. Respect them. Always work straight up or down a hill, never sideways. Take time to inspect the ground before starting. Wet or soft soil is a red flag. And above all else, wear your seatbelt. It sounds simple, but it's the one thing that can save your life if things go wrong. Bulldozers aren't meant to do stunts. They're built for power, not balance beams. Respect the slope, respect the machine, and you'll stay safe. 5. Forklift flip disasters. From small warehouses to large construction sites, forklifts are used everywhere. They move and lift heavy objects all day long, making them the workhorses of the construction site. However, they can quickly change from being beneficial to dangerous, particularly when they turn over. How does it occur then? The forklift is simply overloaded, turning too quickly, or traveling over uneven terrain. Aren't you aware of how top-heavy they are? The entire thing may tilt sideways if the operator turns too abruptly or the load is not balanced. The worst thing? People are crushed because the driver's natural reaction is to jump out most of the time. One unforgettable case happened in 2022 at a Texas job site. A forklift carrying a heavy concrete slab tipped forward while going down a small slope. The load shifted fast, the forks dipped, and the entire machine lunged forward. The operator wasn't wearing a seatbelt and was thrown from the seat. He died before help could arrive. A seatbelt could have saved him. So, how do you avoid this kind of fail? First, know the forklift's load capacity and never go over it. Second, always keep the load low when moving and tilt it slightly back. Third, drive slow, especially around corners or on uneven ground. And most importantly, always wear the seat belt. It might seem unnecessary for a machine that moves 5 miles per hour, but it's your last line of defense when things go wrong. Forklifts are tools of precision, not speed or power. Treat them with respect, understand their limits. You'll avoid one of the most common and deadly construction fails out there. And there you have it. the top 5 construction machinery fails and, more importantly, how to avoid them. Remember, no matter how powerful or reliable your machines are, safety always comes first. Taking just a few extra minutes to check, plan, and follow the rules can save lives, money, and time on the job. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe for more tips and stories from the construction world. Got your own fail or safety tip? Drop it in the comments. We love hearing from you. Stay safe out there and see you in the next video.